So for your IT room, this is a lot more straightforward than the reception area. You've asked for a specific layout. We started out with this design, and then we created the custom shapes that you wanted. The thing is that as soon as you start putting people in there, it becomes quite obvious that the shapes that you've requested won't allow your ideal 10 workstations. And the teacher, if they have a desk that comes out fully, it means that someone can't sit behind where they are. So while this is the design that you requested, we have actually made a proposal, and I've done the pricing for our proposed design, which I will show you after we consider the vinyl floor and wall printing. So for the wall printing, there are two things to consider: the positioning, where you have the printing, whether it goes on the floor and the wall, and the perspective. By perspective, I mean that when you take a flat image and you print it and then apply it to two different planes, the perspective changes and the image no longer looks correct. The solution is to identify the area of the room where people are going to most often view the image from, which in this case would definitely be from the entrance door and towards the center of the room. There are other orientations, and we can also do the printing with the epoxy cover again onto the table, so going from the wall to the table instead of from the wall to the floor, which would have greater visibility in this room because there's so much worktop. It depends whether you want this to be obvious from the corridor or whether you want it to be quite a wow factor surprise that someone mostly sees the whole image when they walk into the room and turn around. So primarily for functionality, this is the suggested design. The picture is correct, except that where you see where the screen is, there would be a gap to be able to walk up to the screen, and then we would suggest placing the shield on the floor and the wall here. Because we've proposed hardwood floor in the reception area, I would actually suggest having a grey colour of hardwood floor in this room as well, simply because the Macs are very modern, it's all very clean lines, it obviously makes it very easy to clean. It's also good for rubber glides, which don't work so well on carpet, so that you can make use of the space more because the chairs don't move around, they just sit and turn, the person sits down and turns back. Looking at cost, this is a quotation, not an estimate, but it is dependent on whether you go ahead with the reception. There would be a minimum of £750 discount to this room just because of delivery costs, installation costs, preparation costs, etc. So you can pause the video here to carry on looking at the costs, and please do get in touch if you have any queries.